Absolutely. So TechGrind is a private business incubator, which means that we are funded by private individual money. We're not owned by any large corporate, which is the case with many other incubators here in Bangkok and in Thailand. And TechGrind has been around in Bangkok actively incubating companies since 2015. So 3.5 years approximately right now. And basically we consist of an international team of partners. We have people, myself from Sweden, we have Americans, Russians, and so forth, also part of our team. So we try to bring in our international experiences from different types of entrepreneurial ecosystems, whether it's in Silicon Valley or in Sweden, and bring that knowledge and experience to this region.
How's TechGrind different from all the other incubators out here?
That's pretty much goes back a little bit to my last answer, actually, that we have this international experience, this international mindset, and that's kind of set us apart to a large extent from, well, if you want to call them competitors, if you will, but a lot of the other incubators here in Thailand also. So that's why we are a very attractive option, because we know what works in other regions, in other successful startup hotbeds around the world, and we want to make sure that this region gets the same type of best practices implemented.
Okay. Most of these incubators we've come across, they usually have batches, and I was told that you don't have batches. What is the application process like?
This is something that has changed a little bit going into 2018, because now what we're doing now, we have an acceleration program where we actually do have batches, and we just finished last month the first batch of that acceleration program. So when it comes to acceleration, we do have batches, but not for incubation. And now also the reason that we wanted to start with acceleration as well is that we kind of wanted to pre-test the startups that we're going to potentially work for incubation. And then basically you have acceleration, which is a very intense 8-week program. And then if you pass the milestones and what we want to achieve and what we want to see from them, then we basically allow them or give them a green light for incubation based on that. So that is sort of like an additional approach to it, and the other approach to it is basically working as we have been working before. It's sort of like we very sort of selective and make individual sort of selections rather than select batches consisting of 5 to 8 companies or whatever it might be.
For somebody who doesn't know much about incubators, what would be the difference? How would you differentiate what is acceleration and what is an incubator?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, because that's one of those terms that sort of get confused easily,
yeah.
And there's many sort of meanings and definitions of that thrown around. And also, what we see is that acceleration is something that happens at the very early stage. This is how you sort of get going. This is how you sort of learn how to do things, how give you sort of the toolbox to be able to grow further. So we see acceleration as something that happens pre-incubation. And then incubation is that, okay, so then you have a little bit of an idea of what you're doing. You have sort of like gotten off the ground a little bit, and then you're incubated, and then you're sort of taking the next step. And for basically in our setup, it's like an 18-month process. And whereas at the end of that 18 months, 18 months, yes. Yeah, a year and a half. And then at the end of that year and a half, at the tail end there, they should be ready to have a proper Series A funding round.